Hi guys, so Eric and I woke up this morning not thinking we were gonna get baby chicks. Kyle, what are we doing?
Chicken.
Yeah? Are we gonna get some babies?
Yeah, baby chicken.
Yeah? Are you excited? Are you so excited? And it is a few hours later and we are definitely now the parents of 10 baby chicks. So this was definitely spur of the moment, but it is something that we love to have in our lives, and we've been wanting chicks ever since we had our baby girl. It's been about 3 years since I got pregnant, and you know, it's time to start taking care of some animals again. Feels really good. And so if you guys want to stick around and see how we set up a pen extremely quickly, you know, granted we've had chickens before, so we were ready, we had all the stuff necessary, but chickens are easy, and hopefully this video gives you a little bit of help as to how to set up a chicken pen, what you can expect, and to not be too hard on yourselves. Chickens definitely have a tendency of dying on you for no reason in particular. They're also a really tasty meal, so we've definitely had our fair share of these chickens that we've taken care of for years end up on the dinner table for a raccoon or coyote. So stick around and see what we have been up to. So you may be wondering where we got our chickens from, and I have bought them online in the past. I will say I bought them from like McMurray Hatchery, but I have no hard feelings against them. I just didn't buy enough, and I often had ones end up either just sick or dead on arrival, so don't be too shocked if that happens to you if you buy them online. And it could be the post office that we have as well. They never would call me as soon as they came in, which is kind of a detriment to chickens to begin with. So we actually ended up getting ours at Murdoch's, and they had just came in and they all looked really healthy. The lady that was there took really good care of them. You could tell she really had a heart for chicken. So this is our vegetable and fruit side of our backyard, and as you can see, we've had chickens in the past. Eric's built this really nice chicken pen out of a tough shed right here with big doors, and then we have our outside run, which we haven't used in 3 years, basically ever since we had a kid. Life just kind of stopped and we haven't used it since. But what he's done is he is picked up the roost. So this is not going to be on the ground right now. It's on hinges, so it's nice because it gets out of the way. And then we've blocked the opening here, so no big raccoons or other animals can get through and eat the baby chicks. And then this is where all of our chicken feed will go, which it's really nice to have a metal container so that nothing can chew through it. And then we're going to clean this up a little bit, but these are old products that we've had for years. A little chicken feeder, a waterer. This is a heater to keep the water nice and unfrozen during the colder days in Colorado. So a funny story is we have had baby chicks in our house in the past, and it's actually not funny, but it's a good lesson for everybody. We had them in our basement when it wasn't finished, and we had about 20 or 30 chicks, and it was right by our heater. And the amount of shedding, their skin sheds a lot, or their feathers shed, something about it, actually caused our entire heater to completely stop working, and it just created like the finest dust on everything, and it ruined it. What happened exactly to our heater when we had our chicks inside?
I think you saw the dander.
Yeah, dander. The dander absolutely destroyed our house, basically. So we figured that it'd be better to keep them out here and hope for the best and ruin our entire heating in our house. All right, so this is the setup of a pen if you first got baby chicks. We didn't know we were going to get chicks today, did we, babe?
Well, I wasn't quite sure in the morning, so just kind of putting it together now.
And the thing is, we probably should have had this going for a few hours before we started, because it's about 46 degrees outside right now, so it's going to take a while to heat it up, but not long. I mean, it's a small space. We're using this big, what are these, big horse bin, like our big feeder bin, water bin? It's like, what's the gallon size on there? It's a Rubbermaid agricultural, like, watering container. It's pretty large, but that's nice, because I think a big mistake people make is they get too big of a, or too small of a container, and they have to keep upsizing it so often through the chicken's life. But what we'll do is we'll just move them from this space here, and then when they have outgrown that, which you can tell when they outgrow a space, they start to really peck at each other. They're just not happy, and they actually try to start to escape the pen, which they obviously can do fairly easily after a few weeks. So once that happens, we'll just remove that pen, and then they'll have this entire pen to chill out in. And then once it gets warm enough, we will open this up and we will let them go into the outside part of their pen. So the next step is cutting open the bag. What kind of shavings are those?
Oh, we got some softwood shavings here.
You can get cedar too, but these do the trick. You just want to do like a nice light layer in there, because you're gonna be cleaning this fairly often, and it smells so good for now. That's pretty good though. That's all you really need to do. Super easy. Baby chicks are one of the easiest things you could ever raise.
You just don't want it too thick in spots because they're tiny.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. So we got the light set up. This is probably a safer rig when you have it kind of in the middle on a pole and it's like overlapping. You can actually put something up here too. We'll probably put a clamp right here, because the biggest issue with a pen like this is if this hot light falls into the shavings, it's gonna start on fire. I mean, it could really be a disaster. That would be a big problem. And then if obviously the electricity goes out, that's gonna be a big problem as well, because it is pretty chilly if that light's not on. But that's just a risk that I guess we're willing to take. So yeah, a zip tie could probably save the chickens' lives, and probably save from your entire pen burning down. And the scarier thing is if you have this in your house and you're not doing it safely, I guess you could potentially have your house start on fire. So we don't want that. So then we're just gonna get, what are we gonna get?
We're gonna set up this water. We gotta clean it out first, and then we'll get the biotic, and yeah, it's pretty dirty.
But the big thing about water is you want to add a probiotic when you first get these chicks home. So that's a huge thing. If you find that your chicks, when you first put them in the pen, which we'll show you in a little bit, if you find that the chicks are all right underneath the light and they're really close together, that means that this is too high. The setup's too high, and you should lower it down. And if you find that this light, if the chicks are all along the edges of the pen, and they're not getting close to the light's too close, and you need to move it up. So there is an adjustment period, but to be honest, chickens are incredibly easy to take care of. They die very easily too. So, don't feel too bad if a few chickens die. That's just the nature of chickens. Okay, so with the waterer, the best thing to do is there's a ceramic saucer upside down, and then we put the water on top of it, because when they kick around these shavings, it is going to drive you crazy if those shavings are constantly going in the water. It makes the water really dirty, and they can't drink out of it. So trust me, you want to have that elevated at least an inch or two when you're starting. And so then you can use another saucer, or just anything that has just a low bit of raise on it to put the chicken feed on. I don't know if that's going to work.
That's too big.
That's okay. You can also, the food isn't as big of an issue because it does have this nice cover on it. You have to get one that has something like a cover on it, or there's just going to be a huge waste of food. And that brings me to a really good point. If you're going to have this set up outside, you should set some non-poison traps for mice, because you are inviting mice into your pen the second you start to put chicken feed down. So we will set up traps in here, and for us, we'll just set them up along these edges. It's awesome because the mice will climb along these edges, and they will smell peanut butter on the traps, and hopefully it's not the peanut butter that's bringing them in. Sometimes I think that's a real thing that can happen. But we'll set them up on these edges here, and it works really well. And I recommend continuing to set up traps for the length of your chickens being in a pen like this. And so this is chick starter food. We got medicated. We're not too worried about it. I think medicating the chicks when they're little is a good idea. And then as they get older, they'll just be on like a corn feed. So we use medicated, but you can use unmedicated as well. And this is enough food for a long time. I mean, that lasts an incredibly long period of time. So we might go through a couple bags of that, but then we'll switch over to more of a fast bulking food for these guys. That way they can beef up, and some of them will become chicken dinner. Right, babe?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, if we have the heart to kill them, they will become chicken dinner, won't they?
They will.
They will. Not all of them, though. I think there's good eating chickens, and there's ones that are better layers, and there's ones that are just for show, and there's ones that are too small to eat, but we didn't get any small breeds. That's a great amount of food, so he's just kind of laying it down. So, food in the bowl, check. Heat, check. Water, check. With the probiotics, and there's cedar shavings. And as long as you don't have a draft of air coming in wherever you have your chickens, they're going to be just fine. Pouring the baby food in. And it's nice just to have a place where nothing's going to be able to open the lid. You want it lidded. You want to make sure you're staying as mice-free as possible, basically. Sweet, so let's just add the baby chicks and we are good to go. You excited that we got chickens? That's about as excited as Diesel gets, huh, baby? Hey guys, here they are. So we have, what do we have?
These are Rhode Island Reds right here.
And what you want to do is show them where the water is, so you dip their beak into the water. And then they know, and that's really all I got to do. And then set them under the light. So what were they? Sorry, say it again. Those were the...
These are Rhode Island Red.
And those are a good eater and a good egg layer. And they're a little older than the other ones that we have. They already are starting to get feathers on their wings. They're about a week older. And these guys are... Show them.
These are the buff.
Oh, they're so cute.
Ooh, I forget what they're called.
Buff Orpingtons?
Yep, Buff Orpington.
Yeah, those are a really good egg layer too, and they're also one that you can eat. Nice mid-sized chicken.
Okay.
He's flying. So those guys are looking happy and healthy. Okay, and then we have another box. These guys are all so tiny. Make sure you know the guys' names on there. So then we got Americanas, which are just the best chicken ever. They come in a broad variety of colors. So there's actually this guy, and this one, and that one, and that one are all Americanas, and they are so little, guys. Look how tiny these little babies are. Look at that. They're really healthy. They're just super happy and healthy. We should probably close the door. So we'll just put them over by the water. And then the other ones we got, you can just set the box down in there and like grab them, pick them out. And then the other ones are a rare variety. They are the salmon favorals. They are the littlest puffballs you'll ever see in your life. Look at this. It's just a puffball. And I love them. We got them for no other reason except for the fact that they're just adorable. And we certainly won't be eating them. So there they are. Just getting used to their spot. We're going to close the door. Probably should have done that right away. And we'll come back in a little bit to make sure that they have adjusted. So as soon as you take them out, you're going to see they're probably all going to gather underneath the light. They're just going to be a little chilly, and they're just trying to acclimate, but they're pretty tired. They've had a long trip. We'll come back and check on them tomorrow, and we'll keep you guys updated. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So the two little salmon favorals, I know I'm botching that. They're so little. Look at them wobbling. They are just the littlest babies. I bet you they're only a day or maybe 2 days old. And they don't need any food for the first 2 days, so they are so much tougher than they look. But they're definitely really sleepy. So it's just been about 10 minutes, and you can see they're already dispersing themselves really nicely throughout the pen, and no one looks like they're too cold. They're jumping around. They're drinking water. So they're doing all the things a baby chick should be doing. So that's really what you want to look for, is that everybody's happy. Everybody's figuring out where the heat is, the food is, and the water is. Alright guys, that's it for our first video on YouTube. If you guys have any questions, just put them below. We'll try to answer them as soon as possible. But my name is Jessica.
And I'm Eric.
And we are
Urban Garden.
See you guys later.